Who's the best golfer among the coaching crew? Sorry, man. And
I
who thinks they're the best golfer among the
I
coaching
think Barry Lundy to answer both of those questions. But he is he's an ex quarterback. He's got great hand-eye coordination, and he'll let you know about it when he hits a good shot. So he's fun to play with.
Ryan, get to your DBs going over to
Hmm.
Indy for the Big Ten Media Days. What's that mean for you for them to represent the program?
They're just great representations of what we're about and what we're preaching as a program. So the fact that they're happen to be in my room positionally is just an added bonus. Um, for me personally, it's just it'd be a great experience for them to be able to get out there and see what that's like and gain that experience, and that's be something that they remember for a long time.
Talk about Rashawn Wilkins now. It sounds like what's he add to that defense?
Just more depth. He's a big guy. Obviously, we haven't seen him move around in person yet, so can't tell you what he'll add from that standpoint. But another big body to generate some depth, hopefully, and add some competition to that room.
With T-Rod out with injury, Bret said, what's that mean for the other guys?
Yeah, just they got to take advantage of these reps. We're expecting T-Rod to get back. I'm glad that the injury happened when it did. He was having a great summer. So to be able to still get those almost 8 weeks worth of training and not be missing a majority of the season, that's huge for us and puts his mind at ease. But those guys, throughout fall camp, we get added reps because of that, and hopefully that adds to the depth, adds to the experience.
I think we talked to you earlier in that 8-week summer period. The new thing this year is you actually had time on the field with the ball.
Yeah.
Just now that it's over, what did you maybe take away from what that experience was, or maybe what did you maybe see from your team that was different than previous years?
Yeah, it was awesome to be able to sort of get on the ground and work through some technique. Work through some within the confines of the rules, some schematic stuff. And then when we went on vacation and came back, you just saw the improvement with the technique and with the timing and the communication. So I think that's huge. I mean, obviously you want those guys with Tank developing as athletes, but you still want them to gain some football IQ and continue to hone in on their craft, because that's why they're here, right? Is to go to school and play football. So anytime that you can spend time with them and teach them, the ins and outs of playing their prospective positions, it's huge. So I'm just grateful and glad that we were finally able to do that.
And what's your outlook for this camp, building off what you guys did last year in the spring? Just what's this camp mean for you guys?
Yeah, so I think our message to our guys this fall camp is to let's just hit the ground running. There's not that fill out process. I don't want to be going through the first couple games and trying to still figure things out. We know what we want to do. Obviously there'll be tweaks here and there, week in and week out, and you got to adjust to who's available from your roster. But to have a sort of foundation and a base and build off of sort of how we ended last year is huge for us, and we need to take advantage of that for sure.
I know Elijah was physically limited during the spring, but what was he able to accomplish big picture, even though he couldn't maybe get some of those on-field reps?
Yeah, he did a great job of seeking out tutoring and seeking out some added time with Coach Henry and gaining a grasp of what we're doing schematically. So like I said, being able to get out and work with them this summer, it was good to see the recall and him knowing sort of what we're trying to do defensively from a schematic standpoint. So he definitely took advantage of those mental reps. And I'm excited to see what he can do in terms of what he shows on the field and what kind of production he'll bring when he's out there.
From a recruiting standpoint, Ryan, because you knew the numbers in the 23 class would be low, have you been able to kind of do some homework on 24s and 25s a little bit more and have a good feel of how that's going to?
Yeah,
I think your homework there.
Yeah, so I think our recruiting department's done a great job of identifying those initial wave of guys that we're targeting. Still, even though the numbers are low, that 23 class, that's going to be a huge class for us. So you still are spending a lot of time with that class. But because, yeah, you're right, because the numbers are low, though, your time allotted is spread out a little bit more.
And with UCLA and USC coming in, Bret said that there's a possibility of recruiting out in California. I assume you have some contacts out there being being born and raised there. Is that intriguing for you?
Yeah,
or
you
the
know,
staff?
I think more for like guys like Gio, because I was born out there, but I was really raised in Colorado. Gio, he's knee deep in the LA world. We haven't really discussed that in length about expanding our geographic footprint, but I could definitely see that being a possibility, and if it's beneficial, Coach B will make sure we get out there.
What do you think of it? USC, UCLA. I know you've been.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think those are two history programs that will add to any conference they go to. So to get to be able to go play at the Rose Bowl or the Coliseum is going to be something that guys in the Big Ten will always remember. And who knows where this thing goes, right? Like this, seems like every day there's a new wave or a new rumor out there about the conference realignments and expansions. And I think any talk about our game is beneficial, and I just think this thing is headed in an exciting direction.